What's up, guys? We got one more video today. This one's gonna be on desire, but beyond desire. What happens when you allow yourself to fulfill your desires and you develop this frequency of allowance within you? You're gonna reach a point where, like I said in my last video, you're going to birth new desires that are more nuanced, more grounded usually, more aligned with who you actually are, with the true you. And you'll also realize and understand what you want, and you'll understand you more. You'll understand your resonance more by what's actually not you. You'll feel the contrast of meeting your desire, of fulfilling a desire, and some things will be wonderful and you'll cherish them and they'll feel amazing. But other things won't. You'll fulfill the desire, right? You'll get the job, you'll buy the product, you'll land the relationship, you'll get into that internship or new class, you'll solve that health issue, you'll lose weight, you'll get abs, whatever it is, whatever the desire is, you'll do the desire. But there'll be the contrast of still not being happy, of still not being fulfilled, of still not feeling like enough. And that's when you get to go deeper. That's when you really start building intel and insights into what you actually want, what actually lights you up in this world. There's a gift in following the desire, because when you allow yourself again to follow the desire, you'll have these experiences. If you bypass or make the desires wrong, you're not going to allow yourself to move into the next level, into the next phase that allows you to see the contrast. Do you see? If I never allowed myself to become gay, or to not that I transformed into being gay, I was always gay. It's part of my resonance, a small part of it, but it is. If I never came out of the closet, if I never allowed myself to fulfill that desire and to meet guys, I'd be stunting a significant level of my growth as a soul, as a human being. If you never allow yourself to be a meat eater, if you grew up in a vegan family, in some way you're stunting your growth and your experiences as a human being. If you've always been a meat eater and really deep down want to be vegan, again, you're stunting your growth if you don't allow yourself that. Because perhaps you'll go back to meat, or perhaps if you're vegan growing up and you try meat, you'll go back to being vegan. But there's a depth of life and of experience and of insight that you will receive from allowing those desires to be. I talked about in my last video for desire, buying the $85 shirt, buying the $50 candle. Again, in my experience, I don't go back necessarily to buying a $50 candle. I think I went to, it was in Los Angeles when I was living there at the time. What store was it? I think it was Mountain Goats. They had like a $50 leather candle, and it was wonderful. But the thing is, as your frequency shifts, again, your desires are going to shift. So that candle is no longer in alignment with me. I believe it's not like a natural candle. And there's these candles now. This is not an advertisement, but I'm going to say it anyways. There's these candles now that are like, they're tea lights, and they're natural soy candles, I believe. That they're very natural smelling, and they're very fun scents, but my point is those are like, I think like $13 or $15, and they light me up. They're more in my resonance versus the $50 candle. But see, I may never have gotten to that $15 tea light candle desire if I didn't allow myself to have the experience of the $50 leather candle from Malin Goats. Do you understand? It's the same thing a lot with like food and diets. A lot of people try and restrict themselves from ever having sugar ever again, or from ever having meat ever again, or, you know, putting themselves in this very restrictive diet, when a lot of the times, and again, this is just in my experience, if you allow yourself to have chocolate cake, if you want chocolate cake, you're going to realize that these things naturally happen. You're going to realize that it's more about your frequency and more about dealing with the trapped emotions within you that are a match to having chocolate cake every night or a pizza every night, versus saying, I'm never gonna have chocolate cake. Because that's a very low frequency, believe it or not. And again, I'm not hating on vegans, I'm not hating on, you know, fruitarians or breatharians, but a lot of those communities, if you pay attention to the energy behind it, it's very restrictive. It's very shamey, it's very judgment oriented, which for me is very stuffy and is, again, restricting your life. And again, you may be in resonance with a very strict fruitarian diet that isn't strict to you, which is great. But there's a lot of us, including myself, at this point in my life, that enjoys chocolate, that enjoys sugar occasionally. Honestly, sometimes like a small cookie every day, I get in cycles of that sometimes, that enjoys meat occasionally. Now again, as I've shifted and I've moved into higher states, the amount of food I eat every day has definitely gone down. And my tolerance for how much sugar I can consume in a meal has definitely gone down. But again, I've only been able to get to that point by allowing myself to kind of go at it how I want to go at it, to be free, to have the sugar, to have the meat, to have the dairy, to have the McDonald's, to be honest, like, to be really honest, to have the Taco Bell if I'm feeling Taco Bell one night. But again, as energetic beings, and by allowing ourselves to have these desires and fulfill some of these desires, you're going to reach a point where the feedback and the contrast and the cognitive dissonance, perhaps, of these thoughts and emotions saying, ooh, Taco Bell, I'm desiring Taco Bell. Eventually, you're going to have Taco Bell enough times where you're like, ooh, maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. But a lot of us will have this experience of, ooh, like, that's actually not what I want. That's actually not what I want. And you learn. This is how we ascend into life, guys. You learn. Maybe you'll want something lighter. Maybe you'll bake something that's more natural. Maybe you won't eat anything at all. Maybe you'll find, again, maybe as the earth shifts and we create new systems, this is what I'm very excited for, to be honest. We'll create new systems where there'll be fast food that is more in alignment, that is not pure shite, right? There'll be like a new Taco Bell that's made from like organic organic meats and like the finest cheeses and like homemade hot sauces. Like, those are the kind of exciting things that we get to look forward to as we create this new earth, as we start shifting and, the external really starts shifting. But okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's almost 10 minutes. But again, do you guys understand? It's about honoring the desires, but you're going to see via the contrast of the older desires that a lot of what you thought you wanted is actually not what you wanted, or you're gonna get so much more nuanced and precise of what you actually want, and it's gonna light up and it's gonna be so in resonance with you and your signature. The more fine-tuned your desires get, the more you'll enjoy it, and usually the less you'll desire and need. So, all right, guys, I love you. Again, have a great Friday, and feel free to share this video, like it, comment, engage. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate a new subscription, so hit that button, as they say, and I'll talk to you soon in my next video.